Okay, students, this lesson is about how to change a recipe. Sometimes you have a recipe, but it's not for the right amount of servings that you want. It's like way too big, or it's too small and you want to make more of the thing that it says. So today I'm going to walk you through the increasing of the recipe, and then when you do your activity, you're going to do the decreasing of the recipe after you look at some PowerPoints and stuff that are also attached to the lesson. Okay, so here is the recipe and the activity that I'll be using to work with you. This is kind of the I do, we do together. If you had been here in class, I would have given you this paper in person to do this, but we're gonna do this together online right now. So what I have is I have a recipe for classic chocolate chip cookies, but it says we need to share with the classes around us that smell our cooking. So we're gonna double this recipe and complete the new measurements below. So the first one, number one, is to cream together the wet ingredients, which are large eggs and butter. So I see that I have to have 2 large eggs. Double means I want to make 2 batches of this. So 2 times 2 equals 4. That's pretty easy. So now all I have to do is write 4 on my paper. And here we go. I need 4 large eggs. Next, I need to do the butter. Ooh, the butter's a fraction. Hopefully you all know how to multiply fractions. I have 1/2 of a cup of butter that I'm supposed to be using. I want to make 2 of the recipe, which is 1/2 times 2 over 1, which is 2 over 2. 2 over 2 reduces to 1, so I need 1 cup of butter. So I'm going to go ahead and write that on my paper. Now for the next one, I'm going to let you guys give it a shot. I'll set it up for you, and then I'll pause before I show you the answer. It says I need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to do 3/4 times 2, which is 2 over 1. Now I'm going to pause for a minute and let you figure it out. I feel like Dora. Can you say the answer? Let's see. 3 times 2 is... Yes, it's 6. Good job. 4 times 1 is... Yes, it's 4. Excellent job, everyone. I did sound like Dora, right? Okay, so 6/4 isn't really telling me much. I have to reduce that. Hopefully I remember my math, but if I don't, I can always use a calculator, right guys? And I know that 6/4 is the same as 1 and 1/2. And since that was supposed to be cups of brown sugar, that means that's going to be cups, and I need to write 1 and 1/2 on my paper. So I go through the rest of this. Oh, look, the granulated sugar is the exact same amount. So why do extra work? I already know that that is 1 and 1/2. The 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 times 2 is 2. Super easy. The cup of flour is supposed to be 2 and 1/2 cups of flour. So I'm going to have to do some math again. I come over here to my little math area, and I go 2 and 1/2 times 2. Well, 2 and 1/2 times 2. I can do this the hard math way, or I can do this the easy way. I'm going to do it the easy way. 2 times 2 is 4, so I know that. Then I need 2 times 1/2. 2 times 1/2 is 1/2 times 2 over 1. We did that already, right? 2 times 1/2 is 1. So I've got 4 plus 1, which means I need 5 cups of flour. So I go over to my paper and I put 5 cups of flour. Baking soda teaspoons. I'm supposed to have 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. I already doubled 3/4. I know that doubling 3/4 is 1 and 1/2. Teaspoons of salt. I'm supposed to have 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 times 2 is 2. I'm rocking this. Mix the dry ingredients to the wet. Mix in blank cups of chocolate chips. Well, it said 2 cups of chocolate chips. Super easy. 2 times 2 is 2. And then there's the rest of my recipe, and I'm done. Now, What's going to happen next is I would take those new measurements and make the cookies following the new measurements. You are going to go ahead and look at the PowerPoint presentation that I've presented for this lesson and any other activities or things that I've tagged on there. I think I tagged on some charts and stuff. And then I want you to go through and you're going to reduce a recipe on the handout that I've given you.